In this video, we will introduce the different kinds of OneData users, the functional roles they will be assuming, and describe the main 4 user journeys that will guide the OneData experience. When looking at the way users interact with a software, the terms functional roles and user personas are often used. But what do they mean? Functional roles define what the users can and will do, while personas describe who they are and how they want to use the software. Hence, functional roles are action-oriented, while personas are user-oriented. At OneData, we consider both these dimensions to better identify the different possible employments of the tool. The goal of this video is to make it easy to understand where you stand and where your journey with OneData can start. The different types of personas could be a business user, or for example, a technical data or IT expert, as well as any shade in between these two sides. There are 4 main functional roles. When using a data product for the generation of business value, the user is covering the role of the data product consumer. When the user is building a new data product, then they are assuming the role of the data product developer. The data product owner is responsible for the data product throughout the whole lifetime of the data product. The admin is responsible for the administration of the users and the data landscape, while not being directly involved in data product operations. When mapping functional roles into the spectrum of personas, we usually find admins on the far technical end, while data product consumers are associated with pure business users. Data owners typically find themselves somewhere in the middle, with a good balance between the understanding of the business processes and value, plus a certain level of data expertise. All these different types of users can have many different job titles in the reality, like data scientist, data engineer, data management officer, business analyst, and many more. Most of you are now probably thinking about where you would place yourself on this scale. Do you see yourself more on the business side or more on the technical end? Or maybe right in the middle? OneData offers functionalities matching the knowledge and experience of any of the user personas within their related functional role, but even more. Existing data products can be easily found by the business users in the marketplace and consumed directly within OneData, or by sharing the data products to third-party tools. If required, they can also request a new data product they may need in a self-service mode. Furthermore, business users can create the required data products independently from technical experts. On the other hand, OneData allows technical and data experts to quickly find the data for the creation of a new data product. They might also explore the marketplace to find data products for the development of sophisticated analysis, such as training machine learning models, to compute forecasts, and much more. Now that the users and the roles are clear, let's see how we can start using OneData. We define the user experience in OneData in 4 main user journeys: use data products, create data products, manage data landscape, and operate data products. Let's have a brief overview of the steps we can find along each of the journeys. More details can be found in dedicated videos for each user journey and more videos based on the concrete functionalities. The user journeys are oriented alongside the functional roles mentioned earlier: data product consumer, owner, developer, and the admin. Each of them are represented here with their own swim lane. The different steps of the first journey use data products, marked in red, only involve the data product consumer. These are the discovery of the data products, requesting access to the relevant data product, in case it already exists, and finally using it to generate business value. The second user journey, create data products, marked in yellow, covers the whole journey of bringing a new data product into existence. It starts with the request of the new data product. It continues with the design stage before moving to the creation of the data product. Only after the review phase, the data product is finally published in the marketplace so that all users can consume it. As you can see, the different steps of this user journey involve several functional roles and hence different user personas depending on the circumstances. The third scenario, manage data landscape, marked in green, includes the ingestion of metadata into the data landscape performed by users in an admin role, while the data product developers perform the exploration of the landscape itself and then use OneData's tools to understand the available raw data for the creation of new data products. Finally, the fourth scenario, Operate Data Products, is marked in blue and focuses on data quality. The data product owner, with the support of the data product developer, ensures that the raw data used to create a data product and the data product itself are constantly respecting the quality standards. Quality checks are created and monitored along the whole life cycle of the data products. These user journeys allow to simplify the employment of OneData accordingly to the different user personas and the specific needs and roles each user wants to cover. The very same user can cover multiple roles, like in the case of a business user who wants to consume, but also create a data product on their own. Nonetheless, it must be clear which are the distinct steps to effectively create and use data products. Among our learning videos, there are detailed videos on the individual user journeys. You will also find dedicated videos guiding through the specific functionalities associated to them. Thank you for learning with us.